Everybody, I'm investigator Kevin, BFRO investigator, and then investigator Tom then too. And so what happened then too is like last night and that, and say you're coming along and you see something. We did cast the best ones then too, but then there was something like this. But you see one, and then stop and see. Can you see another one? Can you see in line? Can you see? Is there two of them? Is there a baby tagging along? And look and see. And so then once you get the so once you see the start to see some, then take and what I carry with me then too, which was real lightweight, is this is 5 feet long, and then so I started
maybe that was a hand too.
From heel to heel last night, and it looked like we had something going on, and so then it started to get dark. So then you can come back the next day, and what you start doing then is looking for more. And what you start doing then is backtracking. And in my casting kit, I've got a long, then 50-foot tape measure. And once you get some steps, which is heel to heel, once you get those, or one or two, then you can start using that distance, average distance, and start going back. So then you can outline them too. Carry some of this paracord with you, and you've got it for emergency purposes and things like that. But we start measuring back, and then you start looking for impressions. I wish investigator Daryl was here, because he's a certified tracker, but he'll look then for any impression, any outline. And so you start measuring backwards, and it's like, where should the next step be? It may be in an arc like this, but we go back and we start finding an impressions, and then it's like, then next step, your distance, checking the distance. And so then what I did this morning then is the lines are the paracord to make them show up better on film, on camera. And so then we go back, and then again, where should the next one be? Impressions. And you're gonna running out here. But again, impression like that, and you just start looking, and where should the next one be? And so then we start taking measurements, and then so this morning we measured between steps, and there's 3 gaps where they're not going, they didn't show up, and it was just a little bit of impression or something, and the wind blew over it, and we do have 3 gaps in there. And then what you want to measure then is according to the length, but heel width, the ball width, and then I did some approximate depths then too, just for my notes. So now we've got all these different ones to compare to, and I've got all these different sizes, dimensions, and yeah, it's pretty amazing that the heel width was just within a half.
So consistent.
So consistent on the heel. Now the length is going to vary, and those of you, this is your first expedition, then why would it be different every track? How come you're not going to find a 13-inch track, 13-inch track, 13-inch track?
Multiple creatures.
Anybody? No?
Because that's not how
Weather
you walk.
conditions.
You don't walk that consistently, right?
It's because of the interaction of the foot with the terrain, with the soil, and Cliff Barrickman has said too because of the mid-tarsal break that they have, the foot's not only working like this, Bigfoot foot is working like this too.
You think that's what this is?
And so,
Yeah, and I'm sorry.
well, no, go ahead. So yeah, so we have different lengths here too. I mean, I can read off, you know, all the different ones here if anybody was interested. But we documented then each length and like I say, ball width.
See, a lot of them,
and
right.
heel width.
a lot of them aren't going to look. You can have like number 7 and 5 were really good looking, and then we got a stride length and a step length, and then we just started measuring back, and then we find an impression, say, okay, it's not a footprint, but it's something. It could have got filled in by the wind or something.
It's a ghost
So,
anyway.
right, so we used it and say, okay, well, we'll go back from there. Then we find a footprint or something similar. Most of them never look like the thing with the 5 toes, and that's pretty rare actually, for the most part.
But then you start piecing things together, and I start putting out the numbers, and look at the line, then how it's going, and there's not the straddle either. Look how they're in line. Bigfoot walks like that too, in line.
Straight line, yeah.
So they're not. So they're not. It's not like us.
Is there enough of an imprint here to get an actual foot length at what you would believe to be its original foot length?
Approximate.
Yeah.
We're doing process. These two things we did.
Like here?
We did that.
Well, see, some of that's paracord too,
Yeah.
to help it for the pictures.
So, right in here, Tom?
Yeah. About that.
And we do believe it's going that way. For what,
No,
yeah.
it's going
Going
this way.
next way.
I thought
And then you measure. You come back like 5 feet. There's an impression. It's not a
Yeah.
footprint, but
well,
it's,
again, this one.
it's a continuation of the line.
And how many inches between there did you
First
say that was?
They're 5 feet, give or take.
I was working.
From
We were working
64?
backwards, but then I
No.
numbered them, so
60.
going this way. And
From the heel
so yeah, you're gonna
of
have
the left
just an
to
impression.
the heel of the next left.
So, but the heel
It's
width
like 110 to 120,
so
and they're all very
consistent
consistent.
with each one. And,
It's you'd walk normally. You go. It's not a.
the best ones
It,
were
it doesn't
13
look like a
inches.
foot.
in this soil. Yeah.
As records go, is that appropriate size foot for this
Everything's so
stride?
dry, the wind is blowing through here. Yeah.
They could be in a hurry too, out here in the middle of nowhere.
And then do everybody notice then too, or how it's following the 4-wheel tracks? It's speculation, but was it trying to hide its tracks? Was it staying in there rather than getting out on the fresh?
Was it following the 4-wheelers?
Undisturbed. Well.
And it all started with.
Like Paul's doing over there.
And then Terry found.
I wonder if anybody went for over
I
there.
found
And we
4.
started to put stuff together.
Because then I started measuring. Yeah, I started measuring from 4 to 5. Then
Did you do a Paul and whoever else that is? Did you guys go on the other side over there to see if there's any start to the trail?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You didn't see any.
So I'm gonna
couldn't
ask,
pick up.
how'd you guys
I guess.
spot this? Because there's literally like hundreds of tracks out here.
Well, now there is.
Okay.
Because last night we had like a dozen people down here.
Okay.
Yeah, and Ian and Wells, his son, they had come through too in the afternoon. So, and so then again, it was like I had to check here too. It's like, is there got to be something? Where's the next step? Got to be something before getting into the grass then too. And and so again, it just it was quite good this morning. We had a good angle of the sun. The sun will affect looking at a track too. Yeah, and so, but in here, and just again, just an impression, just an outline type thing. Outline it with paracord so that it shows up better, and
It's kind of unfortunate this one got stepped on on the front, huh?
yeah.
We got to cast that and then go match it to everybody's boot.
Right.
That's what Tom
I think you might have seen some ghost toes out here on this one.
Yes.
Not as disturbed as
Yes.
some of the other ones.
That's a good point. That would have been kind of a nice level place.
Yeah, but
And,
if
you know.
you had this depth up here, you would probably see ghost of toes anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would have been that would have taken me over the top.
So.
I'm a little iffy right now, but
And
see now
and when you make a cast too, take and mark it somehow, label it, GPS coordinates, the location where you're at, the date, then, and I put on here too. This was number 7, so we casted 5 and 7, and so those casts are marked with those numbers, so that we know.
did you guys pour up this way with this?
Yes.
Or?
Yeah.
And then did you smooth it by hand or anything? Or?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And a little
stick,
little
You just have to
stick.
work it a little bit just till
Yeah.
it stays there. Otherwise, it's gonna slough.
You
Yeah.
got to
To
the
this low point.
consistency. You got to have it
Pancake batter.
soft enough, liquid enough
Yeah.
that it'll pick up the impressions and not hurt them, but strong enough that it'll stay where it's. And it sets up fast. It sets up real fast.
Now in the sandy soil, it'll probably be pretty rough on the.
No idea. We'll
Yeah.
find out when we pull it.
It's
It
gonna
could be
be
good. It
sand
could be
stuck
crap.
to it.
Who knows?
Yeah, that's where then But when in doubt, cast it.
Sure.
Cast it in,
I've heard
cast
that.
it. So we've got it. And like I say, it's labeled. We know that this was number 7, and that type of a thing. Yeah.
Well, that would have been a right foot over there. And
Yeah,
this is
we
kind of
had.
undetermined here with.
You got
So,
one in the middle here.
Now you say
had
there would
5,
have been a
right?
stride in the middle on this one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we had gaps between 4 and 5, 5 and 6, and 6
No.
and 7.
Well,
We've got
it's
gaps.
starting to make
but-
sense. Okay, that's a right foot, right?
Mhm.
Here's your
Yeah,
missing
left,
one, and this has a bit of maybe a turn like this as the right foot did.
Well, it's going
I mean
this
left,
direction.
yes.
Yeah.
So that'd be a left foot. That'd be your right foot.
No, because we're missing one here. So it'd be left foot,
Right.
right
Oh,
foot, left
okay.
foot.
Yep, yep,
Yep.
yeah.
Right foot.
left
So possible left. And then we get left, right. And it was hard to say on this one.
Right, that would have been a left there.
Maybe, yeah. It was
I
hard
think
to
it
say.
was.
Well, it would have to. Well,
Left, right,
yeah.
left. Yeah, well.
I mean,
yeah,
it
if
works
was
out
a
for
left,
here because that's we think that's a left, and then there would have been a right, a left,
Just the
a
impression.
right, and
Like I say, this morning we had the sun angle,
left.
and it was perfect for the sun angle.
I wish this hadn't got stepped on. I think that would have been
Oh
the best
man,
of
we
them.
were just talking about that.
Yeah.
There could have been.
That'd have been a
That
good
would
one.
have been the best of them.
I
Do we
just-
hit?
I
Okay,
just
more
did too.
more
Because
left.
I was thinking, I continued my measuring.
Left one.
Backtrack, then right.
That's a right. That's a. Well, who knows what that is?
And this is, again, it's just,
An impression.
yeah, it's not, you'd walk right by it if you didn't put everything else together. Some of these little lines you see here are just the paracord that we put up and
Right.
stuff.
Right.
And this has you can look at this one.
Yeah. And that's a right foot.
It's got the little metatarsal break, the whole thing, the little push up behind the toes. And then we came here and we said, maybe let's
Maybe
include
something
it.
here. Yeah.
And then we took it down, but from here on everything got so trampled
Yeah.
that it.
Well, it's more exposed out here to the wind too.
Plus this is
Really
is
just.
harder soil,
Yeah.
and up closer. I guess it's like an ocean, the sandy. You get the sandy
Yeah.
beaches and stuff, and then
Well, it was kind of yesterday when Cindy and the group went down to we hiked down to that one pond that we're calling Tree Frog Lake.
Yep.
We found some impressions, and I keep thinking it's like there's a similarity. Hey Cindy, remember the thing that I pointed out to you yesterday on the side of the lake?
Yeah.
This print here really reminds me of it. Like very similar in size. but it was really old, and it was in like soggy soil, but it was grassy, and you could just see a impression, but you
Yeah.
could see the curvature of the foot, and that really reminds me of it.
You see this, Kevin?
When can you guys pop those up?
Right now, if you want. Is that
I'm
the energy
saying-
drink talking, or is that the?
Just really curious.
I want to see it. I want to see it.
Yeah.
So anyway, my
We don't
senior
Okay.
year-
see. Oh, that
Like
would
I
be
was saying,
left.
it's like it
Yeah, it's
it
6 months
it
later.
really reminds me of the one that we got a little bit of video, but we kind of discounted it because we only were able to see like 2 or 3,
Yeah.
and they were old, really old, but they were deep because it was like along. Well, the lake has still got water in it, but you're probably 30, 40 feet up
Oh, okay.
the side of the bank. It's kind of like this how it
Yeah.
dries out, but it was in kind of like grassy substrate like that, and but it's just like you could definitely see it.
And that's why.
And they were-
There might be one there. It's so hard.
Yeah.
To get the
This is
impression.
one of those things where
But yeah,
we started
did-
with
we've
one.
got a gap. We've got.
How big?
then we had this one, and then we started measuring.
measuring,
everything
yeah.
between them, and then just working back from there, and it was either consistent, similar footprint, or a consistent
Sounds good.
impression. So we just kind of multiplied on it, and
So when we get back, you guys can look at the picture we got 2 weeks ago of a possible print.
That's certainly
Like your take on it.
Maybe slightly more.
It was a small one. Didn't have anything but my iPhone.
All right,
Maybe on the
yeah.
other side, and
measure
go
it.
between them.
But
My shadow roll. I'm kicking
it's
dust
a good
into it.
measurement. We can get a guesstimate on it, but
They gotta
it's
have
pretty
baby.
clear.
So,
Cliff's got
yeah,
baby
13
Bigfoot.
and a half.
It's a juvenile.
yeah.
It's
So
a
that
juvenile.
might- yeah,
It was a little
that-
bit bigger than my iPhone.
That could fill in our gap right there. Because like I say, we had 3 gaps where we weren't sure.
Cindy wants to pop the can.
Sure.
We
What
would
you
save
guys
everybody
doing?
and their monkey
I don't
coming
want that
down here again.
What did you say?
Yeah, that was such a fun road.
I'm gonna pick up the numbers,
Yeah.
and if everybody got pictures or whatever, I'm gonna pick up the numbers.
Sure.
Yeah, everybody's done.
I think it's been thoroughly documented.
Well, and I'm recording. I can give this recording to anybody who wants it.
I'm banking on that one.
That's what.
Yeah.
That's
That
Dave's.
would've been great. So everybody take off your right shoe. And we're gonna stick it
You know,
on
I was a
there.
little nervous because it kind of looks like mine. But it's probably not, though.
Let's pop the cast. Come on,
Yep.
and see what we got.
Where's your poker? You go under, you're just going to pull them.
It's all sand.
Yeah.
It's all sand.
Yeah. The learning lesson, we need more control of the group.
So we'll have to wash it off later.
Oh, no, you have to take a toothbrush to it.
Huh.
That's what I heard before.
Gotta let it dry a little bit more on the bottom.
Yeah.
Leave it sitting in the
That
sun there; it'll dry
pick up
quick.
What's that?
Leave it sitting in the sun
Yeah,
like
I
that;
know.
it'll dry quick.
Did that pick up part of the where they got a couple bones up in there, back behind the toes. Did that
They do?
almost pick that up?
How do you know that?
Yeah, Dr. Meldrum.
Well, there you go.
Listening to.
I like his view on the anatomy of this thing. Maybe that
Wow.
looks like a foot.
Wow.
It does. That's the one you were most hopeful about, right?
What's that?
That was your
Yeah.
most hopeful one.
That'll be dry in the sun here in no time.
Alright.
What do you think?
It looks kind of promising.
Yeah.
I mean,
I can't wait to get the dirt off there.
the
You
soil.
can't wear
the
your
s-
shoes, Paul.
You got the trophy for this trip.
The soil in the Pacific Northwest just drives me crazy.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
There's no
I
there's
mean,
no
it's just-
soil where I live.
it's
It's
like-
all rock.
you're just not gonna. It's just not gonna
awful.
be perfect in here. I mean.
Well, and it's always so variable everywhere.
Well, in the southeast United States, they've got clay mud.
Mud.
It's like, oh, well, let's move there and look for tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Awesome.
Winter's a good bet up here if you could ever get up here in winter though.
That's it. You'd have to be on a snowmobile.
Yeah.
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 Could do this. They could do this road on a snowmobile.